Am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, I am.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, I am.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
You know, this revolution is filled with so many ironies, really. First, you tell us that it is manly to keep your word, right? If you are a man, you keep your word. And now all of the black people in this country are demanding, and even the black people in the whole world are demanding, is that you keep your word. You told us we were free. Well, then show us that we're free. You told us that there is justice, equality for all in this country. Well, then stick to your word and let us see the justice and equality for all. Or else admit to us that you're not a man, you're a worm, you're afraid of us, you're afraid to give us equal stand. You're afraid that if you give us equal ground, that we will match you and we will override you.
can kill all the black folks you want, baby, but you will not kill the freedom of black folks. It's coming. We're going to get it. We fought every one of your damn lousy wars, baby, and you give us nothing. Now, the war is going to be here, but we're going to be free. Now, you kill you want to, but we kill too.
Am I my brother's keeper? Am I my brother's keeper?
You know, this revolution is...
No, we don't need to run that again. We don't need to run that again. Oh, that was a sloppy mix. Sorry about that. Good afternoon, family. It is... Actually, it's not even afternoon yet. I got in here early today. I got in here at 11:42. And That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Got in here before noon. So good morning to you. Good Sunday morning to you. Bringing together a Sunday service that some of y'all going to be okay with. Some of y'all not. I get it. Because I'm going to be talking about your president. Our president. You know, he's my president too, whether I endorse him or not. Brother Trey, what's good with you? How you doing today? Absolutely. My burgers have no meat. I am plant-based, but Biden's burgers, they have no meat. But the substitute that's in there, Brother Trey, we're going to talk about the substitute today. Democrats will be Democrats in voting to erase. Yeah. Michigans, what's good with you today? What's good with you, brother? So I come in here today with a little bit of sarcasm, but a lot of sincerity. Okay. I got a lot of sincerity, and I'm going to be talking about Joe Biden. I'm going to be talking about what the Democratic Party is up to, even locally. And I'm going to start off there. Appreciate anybody that's checking this out, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be on YouTube or Twitter. Okay. I will not ever say X as the brand. It is Twitter. It'll be known. I have no idea. It's never been explained to me why he changed the name to X, but I will never call that app X, and they can ban me from it. I don't care. It's Twitter to me. They don't have to use the bird, but it's never going to be X to me. X represents something totally different in my mind, in my life, and I will never, ever allow that to be different. So I'm going to be starting out this cast because I'm going to get to Joe Biden's burgers in due time. But anybody who knows anything about me knows I have been endorsing this brother right here, Ken McGee, Ann Arbor born and raised citizen for sheriff. Sheriff's race is this August. The primary, it'll be a primary only because there's no Republicans running. Contrary to what Kathy Wyatt likes to say, contrary to what Caroline Sanders likes to say, contrary to what any scared Democrat likes to say. They want to call Ken a Republican, but don't nobody really want to stand on that stoop, because not only do I, but he obviously has the receipts to show he's not only a Democrat, he's probably more of a Democrat than y'all are. So if y'all want to keep messing with him and don't want to get down to business, what y'all doing in 24, y'all standing on business. If y'all don't want to stand on business, then don't stand on business, but don't call the man a Republican. He's explained wholeheartedly, more than he's actually needed to, why he ran as a Republican the first time he ran against Jerry Clayton for sheriff in this county. But for some reason, y'all act like y'all can't understand that. So at this point, I'm going to be rude every time I hear one of y'all call him a Republican. And most recently, in a public forum that was full of Democrats, he was actually introduced as a Republican by Caroline Sanders. He's introduced as a Republican by Kathy Wyatt. Every time they get a chance, they want to call him a Republican. Why do y'all want to call this man a Republican? What scares you so much about Republicans? What scares you so much about Ken? I'll tell you what scares you is because Ken right now has more policing experience than your current sheriff, than your sheriff candidate, and the other person that's trying to become sheriff, all combined. And I get that. Not only patrol experience, but I'm talking about executive experience. And I'm not sure why that scares people so much, but we're in that time to where your credentials really don't matter. They just want to give jobs to people, whether they got credentials or not, whether they've got expertise and experience and shit or not. Just give them the job. And even better, give them the job because they Black. Don't let them pass nothing. Don't let them go through nothing. Just give them the job because they Black. No, we tried that with a Black president. We said, let's give him the job because he's Black. So we checked that box. We got the first Black president in, and where did we go from there? Where did we go from there? That's y'all's problem out here. So what I'm going to do, I am going to be grossly rude where anybody comes across and starts talking about he's a Republican. Not because I'm caping for him, but because, like I said, he's got receipts. And you know, if he's got receipts, I've got invoices. I've got invoices that prove the Washtenaw County Democratic Party has talked to him personally and said, you know what? We apologize for the behavior of these individuals. You are not only not a Republican, you are a huge supporter of the Democratic Party. You've shown us that through your membership, through your scholarship, and through your monetary investments. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down something because I think it's quite important. As I look at Alicia Dyer, she likes getting endorsements. She gets endorsed by a lot of people around the county, around the state, around the nation. For what? I don't know. And I'm not here to throw shade on Alicia because that's not what this is about. But she gets all of these endorsements from people that don't really have anything to do with law enforcement or anything like that. But she gets a lot of endorsements because Alicia wants people to like her. I get that. I wish she focused more on people respecting her, because she may get a lot of people to like her and smile in her face, maybe even donate to her campaign, but respecting her is a whole different ball game. And I don't think she has the respect that she thinks she has from the Democratic Party in Washtenaw County. She needs to check in on that, because I don't believe she does. For the reasons that I know she doesn't. She needs to check for herself because she's the one running for sheriff. Okay. As far as Derek Jackson goes, Derek Jackson is being shoehorned in to the sheriff's position because he has worked underneath the sheriff for the last 16 years. And everybody knows this to be true. They know that Derek was on the election committee when Jerry got elected. Strange. Then got hired at the sheriff's office. Stranger. And he's never done anything but been a number, whatever he is. I would say he's number 2. I would say he's probably the second most powerful person at Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office, because he knows the dirt that Jerry's done and Jerry knows the dirt that he's done, and neither one of them are ever going to tell on one another. Unless the Attorney General does finally come on down to Washtenaw County and start cracking the books, because there's so much dirt that they have swept underneath the rug. They have swept so much dirt underneath the rug. And eventually, if you sweep dirt underneath the rug, it will burst into flames. You can't keep putting dust under the rug. But where we are right now, we are in a position to where Derek Jackson, who's had no policing experience, he has no investigative experience, he has no arrest history, he's never worked in the jail, he's only been a social worker who went through the police academy, is actually the front runner in the Washtenaw County Sheriff's race. So as funny as that sounds to me, and maybe some of you, anybody that's never ever been police, only been a social worker, only been a part of mental health regimes and things like that, all of a sudden they want to walk in and be the top cop in the county. If that sounds strange to you, it sounded strange to me before. Now it doesn't sound strange to me, because I know exactly why he's doing it. He has to do it at this point, because if he doesn't do it, he knows it's all over. Come August, it's all over. And he's back to being just a social worker and maybe just the leader of my brother's keeper. I don't know. I don't care. Doesn't even matter. But what it is for me right now is I'm getting the substance out. And the substance is Ken McGee. Ken McGee is the substance because Ken McGee has over 30 years of policing experience, from boots on the ground to upper executive level experience to international policing experience. Now, all that means nothing if you ain't done a good job. And you can't find anybody out there that has ever said that Ken McGee has never been a good cop. our black community doesn't understand what erasure is. No, they don't. They don't, but they will, Brother Trey. They will. The black community does not understand erasure. I get it. I understand. I understand. Hey, you know what? He had melanin in his skin. They adopted him as a black man. He's in, he's out, he's gone. It is what it is. Whether he's a descendant of slaves, it doesn't even matter anymore, bro. He checked off the box, so they can never say that we never had a black president. Just like Mitch McConnell said, we gave y'all Obama. Mitch McConnell said, we gave y'all Obama. What else y'all want? So let me get this screen share here ready, because I want to read something before I get too deep into the stream and we get off into Biden's burgers, because Biden's burgers is something else. I tell you. Biden's burgers is something else, and we got to talk about this because a lot of people have really missed the boat on Biden's burgers, and that's okay. I understand why people are doing things out here with their platforms now. Everybody wants to beef. I'm not sure exactly what that's about. Everybody wants to beef. Everybody wants to talk shit about each other and try to pick some play fight with each other. That's the new thing in podcasting. I choose not to do that. What I choose to do is to bring a message. I bring a message with my personality. And the thing is, with my personality, you're going to get a little bit of sarcasm. You're going to get a little bit of dark humor. You're going to get all facts. And anytime that you don't get all facts, it's not because I'm trying to embellish or fabricate or lie. I may just not have the whole story, but I have no problem with coming back and giving you the whole story. Okay. I've never had a problem with coming back and giving you the whole story. But when Ken McGee decided to run for sheriff, well before I met him, I know he had a lot of ideas. He had a lot of ideas based on his history of being in the street, of being on the ground and being in the upper level, the ivory tower, as they call it, of law enforcement. And one of the things that he's brought forth now is called the traffic education versus traffic enforcement. Okay? Traffic education versus traffic enforcement. So please understand, this is something that he is putting together as part of his platform for when he does become sheriff. And this is why people need to seriously consider looking at someone like him becoming sheriff versus looking at two people who have never supervised anybody on the ground in policing. They have never, ever been an executive police. I know Derek Jackson has a couple of people that are under him at the sheriff's department, and he's been, quick to always say that he hires felons. Well, he also created a felon group, called the Supreme Felons, and anybody around Washtenaw County, they know that. He created this group, that's full of felons, people that have committed crimes, went to prison, killed people, robbed banks, sold drugs, whatever. And they've got a nonprofit, and they've put together, a unit where they want to be kind of like a glorified neighborhood watch, kind of like a Black Panther, but they can't really be a Black Panther party because they can't carry weapons because they're felons. It's a weird situation, but if you're in Washtenaw County, it's not so weird. You kind of know, but you don't really know. But we're not going to spend much time on them today. We've spent time on them before, so we don't need to spend time on them today. But his thing is about substance. His whole platform is about substance. How can we make Washtenaw County better than it's ever been? We're not trying to make America great again. We're trying to make Washtenaw County better than it's ever been. We've had some highs and some lows in the county, and there's just some things that have never really got straightened out. Now we got to get some straightening going. Okay. So Ken's traffic education versus traffic enforcement situation is just this. And I'm going to read it. I want to read it from front to back here. And then we're going to get deep into Biden's burgers. Pause. That didn't even sound right. Okay. So Biden's burgers coming up right after this. Traffic education versus traffic enforcement, a step towards more equitable policing by Ken McGee, Bradley Swartz, and Colin Ty. Leave that there for a second. McGee for Sheriff 2024 about Ken McGee. So if you don't know about Ken McGee, this is your chance to go to his website. I've already told you he's born and raised in Washtenaw County, and people know about his mother. She was a social justice warrior and advocate. She put a lot of people on back in the day that looked just like me. Not just people, but look just like me. Anybody that's followed Ken's career or heard about Ken's career, he was one of the people that helped catch Pablo Escobar, you know, in the largest cocaine seizure in history. I don't know why that is not more impactful in American lore, but for some reason it is what it is. And I know Ken's never really put it out there like that. He doesn't just hang his hat on the fact that he caught Pablo Escobar, because he caught a lot of ridiculous criminals out there during his 30 plus years in the field. So here's the table of contents. Problem identification, cyclical nature of poverty, disproportionate effects on minority and disenfranchised communities, the plan, specifics on the program, and the Sheriff's Independent Oversight Committee. Okay. I want to start out with the problem identification. Traffic enforcement is necessary to keep our communities and fellow drivers safe. However, the current state of traffic enforcement disproportionately affects those in our community who are economically vulnerable. And he's speaking to the people who don't have it. There are the haves and there are the have-nots. And typically the have-nots get stopped for traffic violations way more than the have. And there's a strategic reason why, and we don't need to go into all of that, but there is a reason why. It is highly punitive and rarely educational. It is necessary to have traffic enforcement when it comes to serious issues such as driving under the influence and reckless driving, but reform is needed for low-level traffic violations. This is what makes sense to people like Ken, because he's seen things for so many years, and he's seen how low-level traffic violations tend to escalate to worse off situations than they ever needed to be. And what happens if that traffic violation or traffic stop never happened? If that traffic stop never happens, Sandra Bland is still living. If that traffic violation never happens, the youngin in Wisconsin that was killed by the police officer who said she thought it was her stun gun, that literally, he's still alive. You know, there's so many different situations that if the low-level traffic violations never happen, the one brother who got pulled out of his car, who was a paraplegic, and the police didn't believe that he couldn't walk, and they pulled him out of his car. That never happens if we don't have these low-level traffic stops. These are people that were stopped not because they were suspects in murders or robberies or rapes or whatever. They were just stopped because they were Black. The brother up there in Grand Rapids, they stopped him. It was a bad plate. It was a bad plate. And he's dead. He had taken a plate off of one car and put it onto another car, and he's dead. And he's only dead because that cop ran out of gas and was about to get his ass beat because he couldn't hold him down no more. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to put two in the back of his head and end this fight right now. People aren't just learning from punitive measures. They just become further frustrated with the police. Traffic stops are the most common interaction between police and civilians, and studies have shown that since these traffic stops most often have a negative connotation to them, this often can lead to a negative perception and resentment of police officers. And if you ever deal with anybody that's been stopped a lot by police, their whole thing is, it happens because of this, it happens because of that. And you ain't never heard somebody say that they get stopped by police and the police only stopped them because I was white. But police do stop people because they are black. Now they talk about black and brown. I don't specifically say black and brown, but I do understand when Ken has to say things like this politically, when other politicians have to say things like this politically, I don't have to say things like this politically. Black people have been getting stopped for years. And now that other melanated people are starting to get stopped, that's not going to just push us over and say, okay, start attending to their situations and forget what we've gone through for the last 100+ years being stopped wrongfully in the United States of America. My plan is to replace negative, punitive encounters with the police with positive educational interactions with officers. Cyclical nature of poverty. Let us take you through an example of the problem that exists within the current system. Let's say Johnny is driving to a job interview when he inadvertently runs a red light and gets a ticket. Tickets aren't inexpensive. One ticket can be as much as 2 weeks worth of groceries. And if Johnny falls on hard times financially, this ticket could possibly derail Johnny's life. If he can't pay the ticket, he gets a suspended license. With a suspended license, he can't get insurance. With no insurance, he can't drive his car. And most of us, hey, my insurance ain't no good, we still drive the car. Thus culminating a further situation if you get stopped again in that car with no insurance, with no license. Now, because this is pretty cut and dry, it says he can't drive a car. I know plenty of people, including myself, who have driven a car when they didn't have insurance. I am not above this situation, nor beneath it. But I have definitely driven a car with no car insurance when I couldn't afford car insurance. I have had a suspended license when I couldn't pay the fees to get my license reinstated. But I still had to get back to work because I still had to get money because I still had to feed my kids. So it was what it was when it was. No way to get to a job interview. One ticket can send Johnny into a vicious cycle of poverty. This is a unique scenario. A one-time major offense can set somebody back for a lifetime. My goal as the next Washington County Sheriff will be to limit this situation as much as possible. The disproportionate effects on minority and disenfranchised communities. The data has shown that traffic enforcement disproportionately affects minority communities. Additionally, Black and Latino motorists are disproportionately stopped as well as being disproportionately questioned, frisked, searched, cited, arrested during traffic stops. And this happens a lot. And Ken knows it happens a lot. Alicia knows it happens a lot. Derek knows it happens a lot, but they don't want to talk about this. They don't want to talk about these things because they know it's happened on their watch. As a police officer who was out there on the street, I don't know if Alicia ever questioned or frisked or searched or cited or arrested anybody unjustly, so I can't claim that. I can definitely say that Derek hasn't done it because he hasn't done any police work. But Ken has seen it from both sides of the coin as a boots on the ground police officer all the way up to an executive chief of police before. A study released in 2016 that detailed the disproportionate effects of traffic enforcement on minority communities occurring in Oakland, California. And in response, Oakland PD instructed its officers to reduce the amount of stops they make for violations such as tinted windows and loud mufflers. After the change, traffic stops of Black drivers decreased 61% in 2017. 19,185 of the 31,528 stops, down to 55% in 2018, 10,874 of the 19,900 stops, and to 51% in 2019, to 7,516 stops of the 14,644 stops. While I do believe that traffic stops for frivolous things such as tinted windows and loud mufflers are rarely necessary and create undue burden on our citizens, enforcing other traffic violations such as speeding, running red lights, and rolling stop signs afford our officers the opportunity to educate our community on proper motor vehicle etiquette and to keep all of our motorists safe. So he's not trying to abolish traffic stops altogether because there needs to be traffic enforcement, but he's trying to make sense of why you actually stop somebody. Why do you need to stop somebody out here if you don't need to stop somebody out here? That's really what this is about. Showing those stats there. The plan. This is the plan. With the new potential process, tickets would instead serve as a warning that would give drivers three options. Option A, pleading responsible and paying the fine. Who wants to do that? Seriously, who wants to just say, you know what, I did it, here's my fine, I'm gonna walk away? Because there's a couple things that are gonna happen to that. One, your pockets are gonna be low. Two, your insurance is going to change. And three, you're a marked individual now, because when that next cop gets ready to stop you, they see that you are prone to getting stopped. You're prone to breaking traffic laws. So that gives them thus another reason to possibly stop you that day. Option B, you can plead not responsible and go to court. This option is also the current policy. You can plead not responsible and go to court. Pretty much everybody goes to court and fights their tickets nowadays. I've seen that, in hopes that the police officer doesn't show up, or the fine gets reduced, or the charge gets reduced, or it just gets thrown out. Okay. Option C, this is what Ken McGee is proposing as sheriff of Washtenaw County. I would create an online program where a driver would punch in their ticket number and their name, and then they would take a short class, 15 to 20 minutes related to their infraction. Personally, that's a little short for me. I'll be honest with you. I'm a contrarian. I get it. 15 to 20 minutes ain't shit. Should be about 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Okay. Because here's the thing. If they go to traffic court, how long are they going to sit in traffic court? Hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Okay. If they go down to pay a fine, how long does it take out of their day? Hour, maybe 2 hours, depending on where they were, depending on where the court is, depending on how they got to pay for the ticket. So putting somebody in front of a computer for 15, 20 minutes, a little short. And how much information can you really get? Are you squeezing that much information in 15 to 20 minutes? Or can you lay it out plain, maybe even be able to go over some things with a little bit longer time? So I say the time needs to be longer. And I'll talk to Ken about that at some point. He probably won't change it, but, I'm going to still talk to him about it. Once the motorist completes this class and they refrain from any more infractions in the next 2 years, the ticket will not appear on their driving record. An added benefit is that the infraction will not reflect on their insurance policy. The 2-year enforcement window will help ensure that unsafe drivers who are not utilizing the learning aspect of this system are held accountable. So my problem with this is, what happens if they don't do this? They didn't do A, they didn't do B, and they decide to forego on C. I would love to find out what is the punishment, as it would be, for not going through with what this program he looks to create. Because this program is about as simple as you can get. I'm not sure why anybody wouldn't want to go through this program, but there are people who aren't going to want to go by this program, and they're going to look at this and say, well, what's he trying to do? What's he trying to do? But that's okay. Ken is trying to help by keeping money in people's pockets, keeping them on the road, and stopping useless traffic stops, because he knows it tends to escalate to more than need be. Specifics of the program. Specifics of the program. The state of Michigan already has the infrastructure for traffic reform codified in law, coming in the form of the Michigan Basic Driver Improvement Course. the BDIC. The BDIC allows drivers with minor traffic infractions to avoid points on their license by successfully completing a driver's safety course. The only difference is I would like to go one step further. I would like to implement an education class locally administered online that would allow drivers to avoid the actual fine associated with the ticket written for the minor infraction. Tax dollars, if allocated ethically, which we know they haven't been over the last 16 years, should be able to pay for the criminal justice system and court system, and we wouldn't need to depend on traffic fines as a source of revenue for the court system, because they are cash cows around Washtenaw County, whether it be the county, whether it be Pittsfield Township, whether it be Ann Arbor. I won't say Ypsilanti, because Ypsilanti only has 3 police officers right now, and it's the sheriff and his newly appointed old person who's been a menace in the station, Anderson, and whoever else is out there at the time. They got about 3 people. If the WCSO does bring in ticket revenue for the county, I believe they should be in part distributed back into the community through community outreach programs that are looking to achieve structural criminal justice reform. Now, the person that he's actually running for sheriff against always wants to talk about what he's done over the last several years. What have you done? My history speaks for itself. Well, how come you haven't put anything in place to stop having Black people disproportionately stopped around Washtenaw County, Derek? You are the community engagement officer. You engage with the community. You engage with the sheriff. You engage with the deputies. How come that has not been part of your reform program as the community engagement officer and wannabe would-be sheriff? How come we haven't seen those types of things? Why? Because you've been too busy doing other things. I know you hire felons. I get it. You pull people out of prison and you put them to work and you hire and whatever. Okay, I get it. I get it. Recidivism. But we're not into prevention here. We're into recidivism. You know, and y'all already know how I feel about that word recidivism. Sheriff's Independent Traffic Oversight Committee. I believe that while legislation often has the right intention to curb improper police work, I would also like to implement a more comprehensive and surgical accountability measure, which I am calling the Sheriff's Independent Traffic Oversight Committee. The SITOC will routinely monitor and review the actions of our police force and how we interact with our community. Law enforcement leaders need to be held accountable for their actions for their department. The SITOC in Washtenaw County will create a system of checks and balances to ensure that the policies and the procedures that prohibit, racial profiling to be adhered to. Data will be diligently and continuously collected. Trends will be followed and analyzed. Audits and reviews will be conducted on a yearly basis. All data will be available to the public. And if procedures are violated, then the procedure for accountability that the SITOC puts in place will be enacted. Importantly, the SITOC will operate completely independent of the WCSO. The SITOC allows for a more dynamic police force, one that feels as though they can operate in the best interest of the community, while also being held accountable by a board of community leaders, psychologists, social workers, attorneys, etc. So he's covering tracks that neither Dyer or Jackson are willing to go through because they don't actually want to police. They're part of that policing regime. They don't believe that everybody needs this and everybody needs that. No, we just want to talk to them. And I get it, because that's the social worker in them. And if they want to be social workers, be social workers. If you want to be police, then be police. And Alicia tried, and it didn't work out. Derek has never tried, and if he's elected sheriff, it definitely won't work out. It definitely won't work out. We know this to be true already by the moves he's made around the county. And I know a lot of y'all don't like to talk about it because we don't talk a black man down. I'm not talking a black man down. He is a man, not a black man. He's a man. Because he only wants to play the blackity black thing when he's, around black folks. Other than that, he's the black Eddie Haskell. And that's all he is. And that's all he'll ever be. He concludes, I have worked traffic enforcement before. I understand the game and now am in position to make change. The community wins by creating safer drivers through an educational process as opposed to penalization process. I am fully committed to shrinking the disproportionate effects of police have on minority communities. This will be done through a fine reduction and traffic education reform, which are bolstered by the I think this should be SITOC. These are just the first steps towards the goal. Hopefully he didn't make a lot of copies of this, but it says SIOC. This should be the SITOC. These are the first step towards the goal. Safety and saving lives is my top priority as your next sheriff, and better drivers advance the initiative. McGee for sheriff. Check him out on Facebook. Check him out on TikTok, the DEA guy, and Instagram. So that's what I had to get out first. I needed to get that out first. Brother McGee, you in here. How you doing? And this wasn't planned, because if I knew he was going to be here, I'd have had him up here reading his own shit. So, but we are 42 minutes in, and I got to get to Biden's Burgers. Biden's Burgers. I have looked at this video a couple times. I've looked at this video a couple times. And I didn't want to look at it too much because I want to make sure that I'm sharp when I actually have to stop and make commentary on what's been going on. Because this is nuts. Excuse me 1 second. You treat people the way they treat you, I guess. It is what it is. Stay focused, Shannon. Stay focused. So we're in a situation, we have an election for the presidency that's not nearly as important to us as the election in our local area for sheriff. Because I try to tell people, if you don't believe in your local politics, there is absolutely no point in believing in politics. What happens in November every 4 years doesn't affect you nearly as much as you think. And it doesn't affect you nearly as much as your local politics go. And what we're going to have here is we're going to have a change in the sheriff regimes. And what's going to also happen is there's going to be a lot of people left wondering what happened if things get worse than they already are. And they are going to get worse than they already are if we don't start to look these problems in the face. And I know a lot of y'all don't like to look these problems in the face. A lot of y'all think for some reason, because Derrick Jackson has been around You know, once he descended on Washtenaw County from Inkster, Michigan, you know, and a lot of people don't even know he's from Inkster because he doesn't talk about Inkster. Because I never heard about him being Captain Save a Inkster. How come he's not saving things over in Inkster? Where is Derek's legacy in Inkster? Because all he talks about is everything that he's done here in Washtenaw County. What has he done in Inkster? What has he done in Wayne County? And truly, at the end of the day, what has he done? But he likes to bolster what he's done here in Washtenaw County. And I can think of way more dirt that he's done than the things that people would consider good things. Because to get to the good, he had to do the dirt. Because if he didn't do the dirt, he would have never got the elevation to do what y'all consider good. And there's absolutely a reason why I'm tearing him at the thread right now. Because I'm going to continue to, because he has led y'all down a path that, if, like I said, voting for him, you're just voting for your erasure. Like Brother Trey said, on a national scale, we are voting for our erasure if we just vote blindly with Joe Biden. Voting blue, no matter who, is just voting for your erasure. And I don't know why people don't see that, because what have the Democrats done for you since they've been in office this time? And I'm not speaking just from Joe Biden. I'm talking about your local Democrats. What have your local Democrats done for you since they've been in office? And I know a lot of y'all like to say, well, what have Republicans done? Republicans ain't electable in Washtenaw County. Republicans aren't in power in Washtenaw County. So Republicans ain't done shit in Washtenaw County. But the people who are in office in Washtenaw County, they're Democrats. And what are they doing besides soft shoeing, besides lying, besides getting to the next phase? Because that's all it's about, is let's get to the next phase. What can I do to go from the city council to the county commissioner, to the state rep, to the state senator? What can I do to climb that ladder? That's what the Democrats do in Washtenaw County. And we're not in a situation where we're supposed to feel this way about people that we put into office. And this is not something that Ken McGee asked me to do today. It was something I wanted to do because I believe in showing substance. If you're going to do out here, you got to show and prove. You got to show and prove. If you don't show and prove, what are you really doing? You're just blowing smoke. And I know that there's people on the local end that really have a lot of confidence in what Derek is saying. Show and prove. What's he done? What's he actually done that hasn't really been already done, and he might have just put a little glaze on it to make it look like it was something that he did? As far as being in the community, I don't know Alicia like that. She's 30 years old. She's just a little bit older than my kids. So I don't really know her like that. When Alicia was born, I was beginning my community involvement. I was putting kids on school buses and we was taking rides to Boblo and Cedar Point and doing different things like that 30 years ago. So I don't really put Alicia in the same boat that I put Derek Jackson in. But what I do put Alicia up on is, look, you had a stint at the sheriff's office and you came out hating policing. Why do you want to get back into it? At least the way you want to get back into it. Because you're not going to go in and fix all the things that were wrong. You don't have time to do that. As the sheriff, you won't have time to go in and fix all the things that are wrong. You've got to pick the ball up and keep running down the field with it. Of course, there's going to be some things that you got to change to make it your department. But are you even equipped to do that? Since you've never actually supervised anybody on an executive policing level. And this is no shade on her. I'm just kicking facts. That's it. I'm just kicking facts. So I'm going to remain serious, but it's going to go a different direction now. My sincerity is about to go to a different direction. Joe Biden has literally ran out of gas. I get it. I totally get it. He's tried to fool us for almost 50 years in politics. And the Democratic Party is working on 60 years. What has happened is that we've allowed these people to come in and laugh with us. Actually, they're laughing at us. They're not really laughing with us. Say nice things. Make us feel good. Promise us a lot of stuff. And absolutely deliver nothing. Nothing. And that's so unfortunate at this point that the vote blue no matter who crew, y'all look stupid. I'm not even going to be nice anymore. You look dumb. If you are a part of the vote blue no matter who crew, you look dumb. That's just the way this is. Let's just be brutally honest. Anybody that says anybody but Trump in 2024, okay. As communities around the country become inundated with illegals and they're sweeping up the resources, the very resources that are meant for Americans. And I'm not against anybody coming over here. I've said it before and I'm going to say it right now. I'm not against anybody coming over here getting their paperwork right. But when you sneak over here and you avoid the protocol that's set in place for you to get in line for your opportunity to live the American dream, that's where I have a problem. And I'm never, ever going to back away from that. I'm never, ever going to back away from that. I feel that everybody deserves an opportunity to be safe, to be healthy. I absolutely do. But I do not believe in putting anybody in front of Americans. That's just me. That's just me saying it. Ain't nobody else saying it. I don't believe in anybody being put in front of Americans. Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, look. Abbott said, you know what? To hell with all this. We're going to get y'all up out of here expeditiously. Salute to T.I. for that word. He loves using the word expeditiously. Yeah. Abbott was like, y'all got to go. You ain't got to go back home, but you got to get the hell out of here. And I ain't mad at him. Y'all got a lot of people goddamn down there in Texas. Trey, y'all got a lot of people in Texas, man. And he's like, where am I going to put y'all? He'd be like Lawrence Fishburne and What's Love got to do with it? What am I going to do with 2 more kids? What am I going to do with 2 more kids? He like, what am I going to do with 2 more million? What the hell? Come on, man. He basically looked at that situation and was like, I've had enough. And if there's sanctuary territories around here that will take them in, I'm going to send them. I'm going to send them. And that's what he did. That's what he did. And as a governor, as a leader, he's protecting his market share as he should. That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to protect his market share. But as a president, Joe Biden, he ain't protecting the market share of America. He is weakening the market share of America. Because here's the thing. We can't go nowhere as Americans. I know I can't. I know Trey can't. I know Frida can't. Michigans can't. Everybody is kicked off in the chat. I know none of y'all can. Hell, Kenneth can't. Ken McGee is a white man. And I know he can't pack up and just go to another country and be like, hey, I'm here. Give me some resources. I need some food. I need some housing. It's me and my wife, and we got a couple kids with us. So we need some housing. Oh, no, you can't. You light-skinned, but you can't. John Henry, you know you can't. I know you could try to pass. You might try to pass. But as soon as they hear that American accent, you getting up out of there. You better learn you some Spanish real quick. You might be able to pass for a Puerto Rican. But if they hear you talk, oh yeah, they shipping your ass up out of there expeditiously. But I want to get to Biden's burgers, because I know some of y'all have probably seen this, or at least seen bits and pieces of it. Hold on one quick second. That was not the intent at all. Just concerned. I blend in Asia with a mask. Yeah, so do I. They ask me who I am over there. I'll be like, you know what? I'm Chris Tucker. I'm over here to shoot Rush Hour 5. I'm here. Is it Rush Hour 4 or 5? I don't know how many rush hours it is. I'm just being silly. You know, so yeah, they ask me. I'm going to be over there like, you know what? I'm here to shoot a movie. Back up away from me. What he did here, this type of symbolism, it's so destructive. It's so destructive because people think it's actually something. They actually think it's something. They're like he did something here and he did nothing. And I know that a lot of the people that create content have chopped a lot of this up. I've seen no one do what I'm about to do. Because I'm about to show you the whole thing. I'm absolutely about to show you the whole thing. Got it right from Joe Biden's page himself. I got a little access, you know, gave a little money to the campaign when he first ran, just so I could be nosy, just so I could ear and eye hustle. And since then, I get all the notifications when he does stuff. And when he did this, I was like, oh, no, he didn't. Oh, no, he didn't. Yeah, he did. He did. Joe did. And since he did it, I'm here to talk on it today with Biden's burgers. Let me go on and get this right. Straighten up and fly right. Hopefully everybody is having a good Sunday afternoon. A good Sunday afternoon. We need everybody to be in a good space. A lot going on in this world. Okay. How come I'm not getting... Wait a minute. Oh, man. So I think we're here. All right. So we're just about hitting an hour, and that's good. We took about an hour up to just a lot of fluff, right? A lot of fluff. But hold on one quick second. Let me get everything right. I want to make sure. Okay, I got that volume there tight. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get it up because I want to make sure y'all can hear everything. Okay. All right. Let's go here. Give me one quick second. Dude, I'm live. I'm live. No. Bye. So that was odd because, okay, that was odd. Give me one quick second here. All right. So, yeah. I'm going to start this up. My fan going. I need make sure I am clear of mind and body. All right. So what we've got here is Joe Biden eating lunch. Come up a little bit more before I get this started. We got Joe Biden eating lunch. And I don't want to give too much away. I want you to be able to see it. Hopefully you're able to hear it clearly. But this is what the Democratic Party has lowered themselves to. Joe Biden doesn't want to debate people. Joe Biden doesn't want to talk about the issues at hand. What we should do right now, is we should really pay attention to what Joe Biden is going to do from February 18th all the way through the spring into the summer. Because I guarantee you it's going to be more symbolism, but I don't think anything can be as insulting as this.
Are you guys playing hooky today?
I think that one did. That's awesome.
Ms. Barlow, please excuse Carter for his absence today, but I needed his advice, so we had lunch together.
President coming over to the house. President come.
Here's your food, Mr. President. It's a pleasure serving you.
All right, man.
This is a very unique day, very special day.
But see, I don't like this. For one, that's a lie, because we know good and well that presidents don't walk up to windows and pay for food. If anybody's going to pay for anything, it's going to be a Secret Serviceman, and they'll put it on an expense report. But the president doesn't pay for food. Come on now. But he makes these scenes. He goes these places, and he makes these scenes up like he's just a regular, ordinary Joe. No, nigga, you the president. President don't go into places and start pulling out his wallet, or as he probably calls it, a billfold. You don't pull out your billfold, Joe, and pay for nothing. That's been done for you for years. But he still wants to make it seem like he's just old, ordinary Joe. You say corn pop for life. That's him. That's corn pop. Corn pop and T-bone. Dr. Cynthia, good afternoon. So let me just let it run for a little bit more, and I know I'm going to have to stop it again, but it is what it is.
Dude, we about to eat dinner with Joe Biden. That's fire. Like, the president's coming.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, sir. Keep the faith.
Couldn't really believe that the president was coming to our house.
Welcome, Rob. We really appreciate you coming to us.
Come on, man. This is a pain in the neck for you.
This is all great. So what we'd like to do is just come into our space, our living area.
All right.
Well, Carter, you want to show President Biden one of your pictures up here? You want to go over this side and show President Biden one of your favorite pictures on the wall?
Well, one of my favorites is this one right here. Well, we were in Jamaica.
That's cool. Oh, man, you got chicken fingers. You got all there. I went the route of making sure I had a hamburger. So tell me about you guys. What you doing these days?
Why don't you share about your passion of sports?
I'm playing AAU basketball right now.
Right. He went and got some greasy, artery clogging food, fast food, to bring to the house. I mean, I probably wouldn't have even felt as bad had he gone and got maybe some soul food. But he went and got the worst kind of food. Processed food, pressed chicken meat, hamburger with a bunch of filler in it. Come on now. It is what it is. You already know. John Henry, we ain't even got deep enough in it. Here we go. Let's just keep it going, man. He's commending them for playing AAU basketball. AAU basketball.
Really? Are you guard?
Yes, sir.
Now, what grade are you in?
7th grade.
7th grade.
Right now, I'm just doing basketball, playing guard on the JV team for my school.
How about in school? How y'all doing in school? You should tell the president about the school.
I got to stop it right here. Why does the father feel like he has to direct them? The young kid said he's in 7th grade, and the older kid said he's in high school. Why is he having to direct them? Why is he having to make them feel like, we better not say the wrong thing? Because it sounds like they could say the wrong thing, but he's treating them as if they don't know how to talk. And there's more oddities about this whole video that I probably won't break down because I'll get too far along in it, but it depends where the conversation goes. But this seems like some shit that they not only set up, but it seems like something that they knew really nothing can go wrong with this situation. Absolutely nothing can go wrong. You said like a sitcom gone left. Dr. Cynthia said it's disgusting. He only sees us as entertainers. Yeah. This is exactly what it is. This is that symbolism shit. And why people say vote blue no matter who, because of this type of shit. People commended him when he got interviewed by Cardi B. They commended Maxine Waters getting interviewed by Megan the Mayor. They like stuff like that. This is the popularity politics that gets played all over the nation, and it's being played right here in this county as well. Goddamn right. Dad over here moderating. That's exactly what he's doing, dog. That's exactly what he's doing. He is narrating this situation. Let's hit more, man. Let's hit back more. Come on, man.
Favorite thing about it is the business academy I'm in. We get to travel, so we've been to NC State, Wait Tech, and
You're kidding me.
we went to this small dry cleaning business, and it's just
Okay, so I'm not clowning the situations that he's going through because he's obviously learning a lot, and I adore that. I truly adore when I hear youngins excited about learning things. But he said we went to this small dry cleaning business. Like, what does that mean? Like, give me some in-depth shit to that. But he doesn't. He just jumps right to something else. Just listen to it. And it's just really weird how it all. And look at Joe Biden acting like he's really surprised.
In school, you should tell the president about the school.
favorite thing about it is the business academy I'm in. We get to travel, so we've been to NC State, Wait Tech, and
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
You're kidding me. You niggas did that? Wow.
And we went to this small dry cleaning business, and it's cool. It's a great experience.
I'm impressed. Is that a new program at school?
Yes, sir, it is. It just started just a couple of years ago.
So what got you interested in teaching administration?
So I grew up in rural South Carolina. My grandfather was very influential in showing me and teaching me that it would be good for an African-American male to be a teacher so that I could have influence, positive impact on the youth that we would be supporting in schools. And I started teaching in elementary school and then became an assistant principal and then principal here in Raleigh.
Are you available?
So they're gonna go back in a minute. They're gonna go back in a minute. Okay, Dr. Cynthia, you jumping the shark because you already know. There's a girl in those pictures that were on the wall that they never mentioned anything about. He never said anything about his daughter. They never said anything about the daughter that's in the pictures, that's in a cap and gown. That's obviously his kid, but he never says anything about it. Never says anything about their mother. He doesn't say anything about a woman. He just got these two sons, and he's just raising these two sons, and there's absolutely nobody else around. But where is the daughter? Where is the mother? Even if you could just say, hey, you know what? Me and my wife didn't work out. Bam, bam, bam. You know, my daughter, she lives in another state, wasn't able to make it in for this. It would have been great for her to be. Never made any acknowledgement. Joe is not cognitively present. What the fuck is he doing? Going to a dry clean. Hey, maybe they met George Jefferson. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it was, but just pay attention. Please listen to the dialogue when they're outside playing, because this is what had me laughing. This had me laughing probably more than Joe. I was angry with Joe, but this had me laughing.
Available.
Always.
Okay. To the people that you're supposed to be with?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. That's what's most important.
Understand you're interested in something. I got involved in mental health.
Yeah.
Tell me how I got interested in that.
I think I struggle.
Hold on a sec. I'm going to get right to it and I'll stop it.
People that you're supposed to be with?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. That's what's most important.
Understand you're interested in something. I got involved.
So he said, you're interested in something called mental health. Ain't that kind of weird that the kid has a mental health hoodie on right then? I mean, how much work went into editing this? They literally put this together like this is about to be hype. This is going to be some hype shit. So remember when you wore that mental health hoodie? If we can lock that into something that y'all can talk about, yeah, that'll work. Social engineering. Yeah, they need to. They have to. This election will not be like the elections of past with black male voters. It will absolutely not. And that's why they're trying to shoehorn in illegals and get them driver's license and get them voter registration cards so they can figure out how to get them into the polls. They need them to stroll to the poll. Man, let's get back at this. I don't want to get too far off of it because it's just, you ain't seen nothing yet. Well, I'm trying to tell you, you ain't seen nothing yet. He about to talk about mental health. Watch. And he's got the mental health hoodie on.
Understand you're interested in something. I got involved in mental health.
Yeah.
Tell me how I got interested in that.
I think I struggled with mental health earlier this year when I got hurt. I went to a therapist. I had a therapist. I think it helps. And people may make jokes about it, but I think you should just, if you struggle with it, you should try it out.
There's nothing different than breaking your arm and having a mental health problem. It takes real courage. Generally, I really am proud of you. It's really amazing.
I don't like these guys exploiting this young man's mental health struggles for votes. That's exactly what he's doing. This is the part that's not funny. He literally, the kid broke his arm. So he was probably playing sports or something, and he broke his arm, and it probably depressed him that he couldn't be out there with his teammates, his friends, his comrades. So he went into a depressive mode. That happens. But why are we having to exploit something that happened based on some type of an injury? Because he's not talking about mental health like he's depressed because his mother and father didn't make it, or maybe their mother passed away. You know, Maybe their mother passed away, and that's why situations are like that. See, there's so many things that they missed with this. And this is why I have a problem with it, because he went one direction with it when he could have easily went another direction with it. To talk about mental health, let's dig deep into it, because it's as serious as cancer. Why would you just want to give some type of topical, hey, tell me about it? And this kid brings out, hey, I broke my arm and I wasn't right. I felt bad. I was depressed. Well, that happens. You break a limb and you're not able to do the things that you normally do. That will happen. I get it. But Joe Biden is using this for political play. The father is allowing this tomfoolery. Absolutely. He absolutely is in on it. Jump back into it.
As, again, a dad working with two sons, supporting two sons, taking care of two sons, student loan was just something that was just an albatross and trying to take care of. And when that erasure happened, it was such a tremendous relief for the home. I can't explain how much of a positive impact that it has had upon me, but also with their future.
And how much was it forgiven?
$125,000, sir.
It's a life changer.
It was a life changer, a complete game changer for my life.
Really? I mean, he had $125 on his head. And right now, he is a principal of a school. He's not a teacher. He's a principal. So he's doing pretty well for himself. And I'm sure he's doing better now that he got that 125 up off his helmet. So I'm not going to discount that. But isn't that another one of Joe Biden's campaign talking points? I'm going to erase student loan debt. Ain't that crazy that he went and found somebody that he erased $125,000 of his debt, set him free. He set that man free so he could go raise his kids. He was already raising his kids. It looks like he raised another kid. Don't talk about her, but he raised her. His depression is attributed to being a bottom caste. Absolutely. Less than 15% of Black folks have four-year degrees. And even less have student loan debt. And even less have student loan debt at $125,000. This was fodder. This was political fodder. Go back a little bit just so y'all can hear, because I know I'm talking over it sometimes.
$125,000, sir.
It's a life changer.
It was a life changer, a complete game changer for my life now, and then for them moving forward, because I am able to do things differently.
Okay.
For them.
Okay, my fault. I need y'all to look over his shoulder. Look over his shoulder.
$125,000, sir.
It's a life changer.
It was a life changer.
Look over his shoulder. Y'all see that picture right there? That picture right there is a girl he's got his arm around. Why can't I get rid of this? Hold on a second. Oh, it's going the other way. That picture right there, up in the right corner, that's a young girl. And here's another picture that he's got, and she's got a cap and gown and everything on. Where is that girl? Who is that girl? Why hasn't he talked about that girl? Very odd to me. Very odd to me that he hasn't talked about that youngin'.
Changer, a complete game changer for my life now, and then for them moving forward, because I am able to do things differently for them. So thank you for that.
I tried to wipe out all student debt. Ms. Boiler, please.
Joe said he tried to wipe it all out. He said he tried to wipe it all out. That's another campaign talking point. I tried to wipe out all student loan debt. And what he really meant, but they stopped me. They stopped me before I could wipe it all out. That's what he wanted to really say. Or that's what he said it without saying it. Democrats have no more answers, y'all. This is where they're at. And this is him writing a pass to the kid's school to say that he was with the president of the United States.
Here's Carter for his absence day, but I needed his advice, so we had lunch together.
Wait a minute. How did we get there? Sorry about that, y'all.
It's a complete game changer for my life now, and then for them moving forward, because I am able to do things differently for them. So thank you for that.
I tried to wipe out all student debt, and the Republican Party went nuts. The very conservative Supreme Court that my predecessor appointed and bragged about ruled against it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. So I found other ways to do it. I found ways in which there were student loan programs that had forgiveness written in if you volunteered, you know the deal, public service. And so I started to push it really hard. It's a simple thing for me. I wonder if you guys.
I hate that shit. Let me be honest, y'all. I hate this. When he starts talking about, I pushed really hard for this and I pushed really hard for that. You don't push hard for anything, Joe. You push about as hard as you need to push with your stool softeners, sir. Stop trying to make people feel like you're doing something out here for them when you're doing absolutely nothing for them, sir. And see, I don't have the echo chambers that a lot of these content creators have out here. I'm never going to speak to people and have them speak back to me and be like, man, you're right. No, everybody can come up with their own conclusions when I put stuff like this out here. What the hoodie say? What a hoodie say? Let a nigga know. Y'all already know. Nigga ain't got no color to it. Telling you, dog, we ain't even done with this thing yet. Just wait. You say you should. The gaslighting is sickening. I know, and people tell me all the time, Dr. Cynthia, I need to put people on blast for whatever reasons. It gets tiring because I'm made to look like the bad guy. I'm made to look like the person that's always complaining, that ain't never happy. And I'm fine. I'm at peace with my thoughts. I'm at peace with my actions and my interests and what I believe in and who I'm going to vote for. I'm at peace with it. But I don't believe most of the Democrats, the Black Democrats especially, who say vote blue no matter who, I don't believe they're at peace with their decisions. I think most of them are still voting for the lesser of two evils. That's why I do what I do. That's why I say what I say. And I have no apologies for it. I get it. Let me get back into this thing. I'm going to let him rock for about a minute. I'm going to let him rock. Because then y'all can really see where he's at with this craziness.
Gosh, everybody deserved a chance. Yeah.
Like, what inspired you to become the president of the U.S.?
Well, my mom and dad thought you had an obligation. Not you didn't have to run for office, but you had an obligation to change things that you saw that you thought was unfair. It always angered me, like I bet it angers you guys when you see someone being picked on. Yeah. See someone being made fun of. But I love reading these biographies of me now. Biden knew when he was in high school he was going to be president. I had no idea. When I see things that just seem so unfair, I find myself getting involved.
What did you learn most about volunteering at the church? Think about it. So
you just gotta be a good example, a good role model at all times.
At all times, okay.
I want the boys to be hardworking, to persevere, understand that there are going to be challenges that they're going to face, and that they're going to be, have to be strong. And we really want to be accountable for the things that we say, accountable for the things that we do.
I'm working with little kids like elementary school, kindergarten. So I just have to make sure I always doing the right thing. Try to have them follow my lead,
When do we get that from?
You turning 16, man.
Okay. I'm going to go back a couple seconds. It's really quick. Just watch the little kid and look at him. Just look at him. Watch this.
So I just have to make sure I always doing the right thing. Try to have them follow my lead,
When do we get that from?
You turning 16.
That kid is freezing out there. Okay? That kid is freezing. Okay? This lets me know, once again, this is staged. I mean, it let me know well before it was staged, but this lets me know that this is staged. If they knew they were going to go outside and throw the ball around, and hey, you know what? I think this is pretty cool if it's real, because I would have loved to have thrown the football around with my father when I was a youngin', and I didn't have that opportunity. My stepfather and I did, but my biological father, my daddy, I would have loved to have had the opportunity to throw the ball around with my daddy, because my daddy actually had a hose, dude. He had a hose. My daddy was a pitcher when he played baseball. He could throw a football a mile. They told me my daddy was a crazy athlete well before I knew him. And I would have loved the opportunity to just play catch with my pops one good time, right? This kid out here is freezing. This is not a normal thing for him to be doing. When you're going outside, you're going to throw the ball around, you're going to layer up. You're going to make sure you're warm when you out there. They got this kid out there freezing his balls off to make it look good for a Joe Biden bit, because that's all this is a Joe Biden bit. Just look at him. He's freezing. He's like, how much longer are we going to be out here? And you can look at his face. Look at his face. And he's looking at his daddy right now. Like, how much longer are we going to be out here and you lying? And just to let y'all know, I am not subscribed to Joe Biden's page. I know where his page is at, but I am not subscribed to it. But I get notifications when he does dumb shit. I'm just not subscribed to it. Just to let you know. You ain't getting an extra follower out of me, Joe. If somebody see me following Joe Biden on YouTube,
Did you say nigga?
that's exactly what they're gonna say to me. All right, let's hurry up so we can get this boy out of the cold.
16, man. What are you looking forward to being 16 years old?
Driving.
Driving? Okay. What you gonna drive?
Tessie. Tesla. I would want like a black Tesla.
Oh, is that all?
or like a big pickup truck.
Okay, I'm thinking like a 1990 station wagon, something very safe for that. So, Mr. President Biden, what was your first car?
1951 Plymouth convertible. My dad managed an automobile agency. He didn't own it, he managed it. I couldn't have a car until I was 18. I could drive. The great thing about my dad's job, he didn't have any money, but the great thing about it, every prom he got to take a new car to the prom. Because you can train for the night, you get to drive a new Chevy.
That's
Yeah, or something nice off the lot.
Yeah.
As you know, owning a car is a big deal to this physical safety.
Look behind Joe. Look at the Secret Service guy behind Joe. You see the Secret Service guy behind Joe? Come on, man. This was funny to me. This is where the stuff starts to become humorous to me. I keep going one too many. Look at the Secret Service guy behind Joe. And he every now and then they'll catch him with his actual face in the camera, and then he ducks behind Joe and ducks behind the wall to get out of the camera shot. Just pay attention to over Joe's right shoulder, the Secret Service guy. This shit is funny. Watch this.
You can train for the night. You get to drive.
It's like, oh shit, I'm in
a
the
new
car.
Chevy.
That's
Yeah, or something nice off the lot.
Yeah.
As you know, owning a car is a big deal to this physical safety. That's good.
All right.
Wish you a lot of luck, man. You're 2 years ahead of me.
As I'm raising 2 young men, and you had the pleasure of raising 2 young men, what advice would you give me to keep in my mind as I'm raising these boys here?
Well, for me, it was just hold to certain basic rules.
He really went there. I want to mirror myself after you, President Biden. You raised 2 young men, and I'm raising 2 young men. What advice can you give me so I can live my life like you? And he ain't had nowhere near the road that Joe Biden has had. And his kids aren't going to go nearly what Joe Biden's kids have had or went through. One of them, rest in peace. I know he lost his son. Either one of them have the life that Hunter Biden has had, they'll be in prison. Let's be honest. If either one of them have the life that Hunter Biden has had, they'll be in jail. Wonder what the father's backstory is. What the hell was he thinking? Jim Crow Joe is the architect of mass incarceration. Right, Dr. Cynthia. Right. I don't think the brother was thinking. I'll be honest with you. I don't think the brother was thinking. To do this, he couldn't have wanted to clout chase this much. Because this is the upper level, the upper echelon. This is the penthouse of clout chasing. And I know his kids kind of think it's cool, but at the end of the day, they'll end up be like, that was some corny shit, Dad. Once they find out who Joe Biden really was, because I bet you they've been fed a total line as to who Joe Biden is. And when they find out who Joe Biden really was, they'll be like,
what did you say, nigga?
I'm going to go ahead and let it finish out because I'm pretty much done with this one.
One of them is, let's be honest. And 2, you're going to make mistakes. But just get back up. You know how much this guy loves you.
Right.
You just feel it, can't you?
Yes, yeah.
Your dad jumped in front of a bull for you. By the way, we dads are hard to raise. Once you're a teenager, we're hard to raise. So you got to be patient with us, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
A little patient. I'm formally inviting you to come to the White House to see me. And you got to make me promise that one of you guys are president. And they say, Joe Biden down the way, you promise you won't say to your secretary, Joe who? Okay. A deal?
Deal.
All right.
For the president.
So they're about to end the symbolism fest. The symbolic cookout is over. Biden's burgers are done for the day. But this right here, this was just the frosting of it. This was the frosting of it. And granted, I've been to many fairs, carnivals, enrichment platform forums, and they've had the police come out, and they've had the fire trucks come out, and the EMTs come out. And the kids get a chance to get in those vehicles and turn on the sirens and, you know, honk the horns and wear the gear and stuff like that. I get it. I should have known that this was going to happen, because when this happened, I was like, okay, this is the cherry on top for these youngins. I get it, but really, Joe? I mean, really, dog?
This is not company that we're accustomed to having. Seeing them just have a conversation with President Biden was just unreal. I'm speechless. I'm super proud. Did a great job in just being your authentic selves. It just happened to be 46.
Thank you so much, sir.
It's crazy. You was just how to be.
Watch this. Listen to this.
That's the experience of a lifetime.
Lunch with the press.
Lunch with the president. All right, let's go.
We back inside.
I'm freezing.
We back inside.
He said, I'm freezing. Man, get that shit off my screen. Oh, boy. Vote blue no matter who, right? That's really what they want Black Americans to believe in. They want us to believe that's literally Black American life. And I'm saying Black American today to be concise. You know, I don't mind. People want to say ADOS. They want to say FBA. They want to say Black American. You know, some of y'all still saying African American. I get it. I get it. I've been saying American Black just for that, just to delineate that much. But y'all know I look at American freedman status as something very, very serious. But there were some holes in that brother's story that I don't care to try to fill in. I just saw the symbolic madness of it. And I was like, how come nobody has actually played this whole video? Because there's so many pitfalls in it. And I broke it down the way I'm going to break it down. I'm not going to go all in there. You know, he's a principal at this school. I'm not here to dox nobody. I'm not here. Look, I see things. I say things. We move forward. We move forward. What'd you say? Oh, plantation man talking babble. I would have respected the father if he asked about reparations, cleaning Cancer Alley, dirty Flint water. Wait, yeah. It'd have been cool if he'd have had a list. You know, if he'd have had a list and he'd been like, you know, President, you know, I got some things I want to talk to you about since you're here in our home and all. You know, I just want to talk to you about, you know, do you ever plan to talk seriously about reparations for descendants of enslaved individuals? Do you ever really seriously plan to talk about federal police reform? Do you ever plan to seriously address the homeless situation for our veterans in the United States? Do you seriously ever plan to address the fact that we have at least 10 million undocumented people in this country that are taking jobs from people that look just like me and soon to be my boys? If it were not for you, family, I would have not seen this much of the video, because people don't want to talk about it. They just want to throw it out there and be like, Joe Biden did this. No, Joe Biden did that. Joe Biden did that. One quick second. I was supposed to text Nettie and I didn't text her. Went and got her car washed, and it's just there's some birds around here eating stuff, and the bird shit is like, it's like paint. And it got on all of the cars. Got on her truck, got on Ray's truck, got on my truck. And I'm like, what is this stuff? And car washes weren't even taking it off. So I literally had to make sure he spot treated Natty's car, because my truck went through and it didn't go, and it didn't come off. Ray's truck went through and it didn't come off. And the guy sprayed it again and got it off, and then he ran it back through. And I'm like, what is this stuff? And he was like, man, you got some nasty birds in your neighborhood. I don't know what they eating out here to make that stuff that toxic, but it is what it is. Them birds eating them nothing burgers. telling you, them birds eating them nothing burgers, man. I don't know what them nothing burgers consist of, but boy, they do a job to a paint job. They do a job to a paint job. Mulberries, okay. Oh, you know what? All them berries that fell off the trees in the back. That's why the birds were all in the backyard yesterday. They was feeding on them birds, on them berries, on them birds, on them berries. And then they just be up there dropping. Blah, 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 blah. Craziness. Yeah. So Biden's burgers. He's not good, y'all. He's not good. And y'all know he's not good. Most of y'all know he's not good. But nobody wants to really talk about this. And I did something a couple of days ago. I don't know why. I literally never put this up, but I'm about to. Give me one quick second. Warm it up, Chris. I'm about to. Let me put this up. I got to draft it real quick. Put this up. There we go. Hopefully I did that right. Oh, I know you love biscuits. Well, hold on one quick second. I'm going to show y'all something. Let me make sure this came through. Let me make sure this came through. No, that's not what I wanted. And why didn't that come through? Give me one quick second, y'all. There we go. I got something that I put together that I drafted a couple days ago. And when I saw it, I thought about it because I was like, you know, we always talk about things, but we really never look at the easy part of things. And this is something that's really easy to think about. Give me 1 second. I'm downloading it so I can upload it. Down for the upstroke. Okay, give me 1 second. This was here very enlightening to me. And I put it together because I had to go back and do a little bit of research. I had heard something and I was like, you know what? That really can't be true. And it was. It turns out it was true. So I was like, okay, I'm going to talk about this when it's appropriate. And today it's appropriate because we're talking about Joe Biden, the 46th president of the United States. So I want to bring this up. Give me one quick second. Bring this up. I knew you was going to get in here and clown today. I knew it. Leave it up to John Henry just to come on in and clown. That's okay.
Buttermilk biscuits, I enjoy it.
Yeah, I got, you know, I'm locked and loaded for you, John Henry.
Buttermilk biscuits, I enjoy it.
Yeah, you like them biscuits. A lot of y'all like them biscuits out there. Them vote blue no matter who biscuits. But this is something, let's be real serious about. because I'm going to ask, when I start talking more and more about the November election, I'm going to ask the Democrats what they think of this. And this is when I did it. Personal appearances by February 13th. I did this 5 days ago. And I meant to post it, and I never did. By 2016, in Barack Obama's last tenure, this is only a 4-year period, Barack Obama had 400 plus appearances from 2012 to 2016. Donald Trump from 2016 to 2020, he had over 300 appearances. From 2020 to 2024, Joe Biden has only had 80 plus appearances, and it's documented. I know y'all don't believe me. That's why y'all go behind my back and try to do your discovery. Go look it up. I don't care. As of February 13th, 2024, Joe Biden is 80 plus appearances in for an almost 4-year term. Whereas for the same time frame, Donald Trump had over 300 appearances. For the same time frame, Barack Obama had over 400 appearances. Why has Joe Biden been seen so little over this 4-year period? I need somebody to answer that, especially somebody from the Vote Blue No Matter Who collective. I need to know. Because some of y'all don't believe me. I know some of y'all sitting there.
Did you say nigger?
That's what I said. Brother Trey, that's beside the point. He's been incompetent for years. He's been incompetent for damn near 50 years in politics. But he still keeps getting appointed and elected. And now he is the most powerful man that uses stool softener on the planet. And he ain't doing them but giving bags away, bags upon bags to foreign territories, while he's got homeless Americans, homeless American vets on the street, all while he gives money to people who ain't even supposed to be here. So he ain't that incompetent. He gets his decrepit old fingers wrapped around that presidential pen to sign them checks. How did you measure? What do you mean, sis? What do you mean? I literally was listening to one of, like, it was either NPR or Politico, something like that, Forbes, and they were talking about how little Joe Biden has been seen. If that's what you're speaking of, how did I measure this? I ain't counted. It ain't like I counted. I was given this news source. I was given this news source by another news source. And I just went back and started looking at the timelines. And y'all remember how many times we've said, where is Joe Biden? Did we ever have to say, where was Donald Trump? Did we ever have to say, where was Barack Obama? We have literally wondered for weeks at a time, how come Joe Biden is out of sight? And when I say out of sight, I don't mean dynamite out of sight. I mean, he's like literally gone, vanished. We don't see him. We don't see him. We don't see Kamala. The only person we see on a daily basis is Kareem Jean-Pierre. And she ain't answering no questions. She's just the deflector in chief. What we doing out here, folks? What are we doing out here, folks? I've seen enough. I have seen enough. NBNU world government. What does that mean? Kimberly Arnold. MBNU world government. Please, I have never seen you in the chat, so welcome to the chat today. What does that mean? Please let me know what that means. Hopefully you ain't coming in here on no conspiracy theory stuff. I don't need no misinformation, disinformation, messing up my algorithm. I had enough of those folks a couple years back. They jacked up the channel and we ain't never got back on track with it, but it is what it is. What it is, what it is. I'd like to know what you're talking about, though. I'd like to know what NBNU world government is. Help a brother out. Help a brother out. What does that mean? You are part of some type of radical government agency? Does this have anything to do with American blacks? Are you a person of color? State your business. Let me know why you're here. I really don't want to have you out here like,
Did you say nigger?
I need to know. But yes, Joe Biden put us in a situation, y'all, to make, once again, us lose faith in the Democratic Party. He's the number one Democrat. He's the top dog Democrat. And for him to go out there like that, he went out there bad, y'all. He went out there bad, went to Raleigh, North Carolina, and went out there bad, showing up at the drive-thru, talking about, give me some burgers. I'm about to feed some black folks. And that brother right there, I will commend him on his accomplishments. He has obviously done well for himself. He had a beautiful home, 2 handsome sons. He's doing the best he can out there. What was his real goal, though? What was his real goal in that situation? It couldn't just to be to have his kids meet the president, because he could have went and stood in some line somewhere, or as a elevated, educated official, he probably could have got close to Joe Biden if Joe Biden came through Raleigh campaigning. But what was his point to put them on Front Street like that? Let a nigga know. We've seen enough clowning. We've seen enough of the Democratic bullshit. Now all we need to see is some results. Like, why are you here? I voted down ballot in 20 and plan to do the same in 2024. I feel you, Sister Cynthia. Dr. Cynthia, I feel you. I put ADOS on my ballot in 2020. Everybody saw it. I took a picture of it. Shit, I didn't care. I'm not sure if I'm going to put American Freedmen on there this time or not. I still like Cornel West because I feel like Cornel West has our interests more than the other two. If Cornel makes it to the ballot, I probably will cast a ballot for Cornel West. I probably will. Some people don't like Cornel West. I get it. But I'm not going to vote for the lesser of two evils ever again. As a matter of fact, I'm not voting for anybody that's evil ever again. And I wish y'all would do the same. How about we make that as a pact? Let's not vote for anybody that's evil. Y'all been voting for the lesser of two evils most of your lives. How about we don't vote for anybody that's evil anymore? Me and Mamala and Tyrese will be what?
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit Black people. No.
Look, man, I'm trying to tell you. You keep talking that shit about Mamala, and now you're talking about Tyrese.
Your ass is next.
You sure like to come up here and clown, Joe Henry. You like to come up here and clown. You and your friend Kamala in the back laughing.
Slow down, everybody. No. Can I get a witness?
Yeah. That's what it is. And that's what it's going to be. It's an unfortunate situation that we really don't have anybody that we can turn to politically to say they have our best interests. And that's why I try to steer people towards the local politics. Your local politics have to have your best interests, or we don't vote those people back in. Because those votes are by the numbers. It's not an electoral college. It's literally a popularity contest. If you like them enough, you vote for them. If you don't like them, they don't get enough votes. That's the way it is. Donald LaFloria, what's good with you, brother? Coming in from the great city of Ipsy. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Coming in from Ipsy. I'm coming in from Ann Arbor, though, baby. By way of Pittsfield Township now. Put the Y1 up, did you? I ain't mad at you, man. I ain't mad at you. I'm going to throw up the ace deuce, though. You can write in, Dr. Cynthia. You know, some people, a vote for independent or a vote for is a vote for Trump. No, it's not. No, it's not. I know you're in here messing with me, dog. I know you're in here messing with me. You and John Henry got it out for me today, but it's okay. It's Sunday, you know. It's Sunday. I'm in here. My girl's mad at me, so you know she ain't even here right now. So I'm gonna get cussed out when she gets back, I'm sure. But it's all good. Great way to start the week out. Get all that out on a Sunday, right? Get that good cussing out on a Sunday. We're gonna get cussed out on Sunday. You're gonna get cussed out of any day of the week. Get cussed out on Sunday, and then you got the rest of the week to go to work it off. It's good with you, good brother. So I just look at these things for what they are. I don't try to be too smart with it. I don't believe that does anything for us when we try to be too smart with things. Just call it the way it is. And people, I think, respect you mostly when you do that. When you call it what it is. When you try to be all ultra smart, we're past all that, man. That's why a lot of people go look up stuff that I say. Because they don't think that I should be knowing all the stuff that I know. Man, he gonna do it and be sitting up there cussing and stuff and smoking and this and that. It never goes away unless somebody takes it away. And if you don't really have it, but you try to act like you have it, you get exposed. You're going to get exposed. There's so many people out here trying to act like they're smart. And I don't know why this is a big issue at this point. You're either smart or you're not smart. As we approach 2 hours, appreciate y'all banging in here for 2 hours with me today. I'm going to be back later with DJ Helliva as we do our second installment. We're going to see how long we can rock it out tonight. Our second installment of Life in Hip Hop. And we're going to talk about the ways that hip hop has exploited Black culture through American culture. We just talked about a lot of the foundation of hip hop and styles and brands and things like that, building it in. The next discussion, this discussion we're going to have tonight, is going to be about some exploitation. It's like we went through the blaxploitation films. Hip hop has gone through a exploitation phase. Hip hop has gone through an exploitation phase. Honors, sis. Honors. I appreciate you. Because, like I said, I can't be anything that I'm not. People have called me smart before, and I'll accept that. I've even been called intelligent, and I'll accept that. One thing I'm not is dumb. But I'm not the smartest person in the room and never really aspired to be. Really, actually, the only time I need to really be the smartest person in the room is when I'm talking to my grandchildren. And one day, I'm probably not going to be the smartest person in the room when I'm talking to them. I may have the most wisdom, but I don't ever try to be the smartest person in the room so I can hold dominion over people. But I can hold my own with what I got. It's them people that ain't really that smart and they try to come off like they're smart. Those are the ones who are in positions they should never, ever have gotten to and should be alleviated of them expeditiously. Shout out to T.I. again. So as I look for my lighter and get ready to get up out of here, I appreciate y'all. 2 hours is enough. I don't need to belabor the time like a Baptist preacher. Hell, like any preacher. Preachers always say, I'm not going to be here that long, and they be there for 3 hours. That's not going to be me right now. We're going to get up out of here. But what I do want to do is I want to make sure that people understand your local politics matter. And when you're electing people, elect them on their professionalism, elect them on their experience, and elect them on their platform of promises. Because their platform of promises, because they haven't implemented them yet, because they haven't been elected, means everything. Because if they're not promising you shit, what are you voting for? You're voting for the lesser of two evils? Really? The lesser of two evils? Really? I don't advise anybody else to ever vote for the lesser of two evils. Ever again. Ever again. And that's just in my mind.
In my mind.
So I appreciate everybody that came out today, got in the chat, sat back and lurked and learned, because I know some of y'all learned something today. Some of y'all learned something today about Ken McGee and his traffic enforcement versus traffic education platform. Some of y'all learned something today about Joe Biden. However you learned something today, I'm glad you did. And for anybody that's watching this on the playback and you made it all the way to 2 hours and 4 minutes, I salute you. Appreciate you. One love.
Yeah, rapper stepping 2. cat, so yo, you know the outcome.
Rappers stepping to me, they wanna get some, but I'm the creeper, so yo, you know the outcome.
Rappers stepping to me, they wanna get some, but I'm the cat, so yo, you know the outcome.
Rappers stepping to me, they wanna get some, but I'm the creeper, so yo, you know the flow.
Who wanna see me act a fool? Grab the mic and broadcast like the 6 o'clock news. Reaching my peeps when I excite the crowd, and MCs get dealt with quick for crying out loud. I packed a little something every run for your sons. Back happy in the house, I'll show your MC some love. My slow flow keeps you on the go like no dose. Plus, I'm your doctor on call for the down low. It's just the light thing that functions what I bring. Like Mary J sang, I got real love for this game.
Yeah.
Never coming lame, I'm in the streets, not peep. What time is it? Time to play for keeps. Check it out, I'm coming with that soul sonic force, of course. Running rugged like a thoroughbred horse. Got my torch in my hand like I'm starting the Olympics. Microphone stays on fire cause I'm gifted. Terrific. I still got juice like high C. Plus I'm funking up your liver like 2 quarts of OD. So knock knock, who is it? It's your fat MC. Once again, ready to bounce down these roads and streets. Yeah, fill my cup up, fool, and let's blaze up the weed to the old school. Let's ride.